All right, checking if there's sound on the YouTube world or not, so we'll see. All right, so New Jersey's here. Maryland, good evening to you from Minnesota. Margie from St. Pete. Diane, good evening. Crystal says, as soon as you start, the screen goes blank. Third time's a charm, right? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. Steven's here from Chicago. Yay, Debbie, sound good? Yay! All right, welcome YouTube folks. Glad you're here. We're live on YouTube, live on Facebook. The normal routine for this is we do a show, right? We have the Wise Advice podcast, which is available in the App Store. But every once in a while, I don't have time to produce a show. The show is a daily show, except for the days that it's not. But there are many evenings where my day gets ahead of me and I don't have time to produce a show. But I'm committed to making sure that we touch in daily. So I'm just hanging out here, hanging out for whatever you need. I got my journal book here, as we've always used. So the journal is ready. So as I see things that are really, really cool, I write them down. You know, if you got something very interesting you want to share, let me know what it is. If it moves me like a lot, we'll go ahead and get it written down. So let's see. Susan's checking in from Hawaii. Gabe from Bowling Green, Ohio. Good evening. Boulder. You're welcome, Ellen. Thank you. Denise, your husband's doing fantastic work. Awesome. Yeah, Ian, I know if I turn the iPad sideways, I guess I can get more comments in there, but I'm afraid if I do that, then the video is smaller, like you said. I like having this big, long landscape video. It looks great. Elise from Wheaton, good evening to you. Danielle from Nebraska, good evening. Linda's here. Nikki's here. Corydon, Indiana. Good evening, Carol. How are you? So, Ellen, your Chick-fil-A doesn't do all strawberries. As you guys know, all strawberries is my treat. That's the one thing that I really enjoy when I no longer do French fries. So I get a fruit cup, and in my fruit cup, I ask for only strawberries. And that is how I've managed to kind of control my points over there at Chick-fil-A. So it is frustrating. You need to ask the manager why they don't do it. Kathy from California, good evening. Sandra's here, good evening. Sound is okay on Facebook, we got that. 100 degrees, Julie, in Northern California. Whew. All right, so Serv's having a tough time getting the last 10 pounds. Well, here's what you need to do. Episode 72 is the complacency episode. You lose the last 10 pounds the exact way you lost the first 10 pounds. It's really all about tracking. It's about weighing your food, measuring your food. Stop eating points when you're out of points. That is the key. So generally speaking, if the last 10 pounds is tough for you, most of us, when it get in that scenario, is we're not following the plan perfectly. We're having an extra bite here and there. And the difference between losing weight and maintaining your weight is only 6 points a day. So if you're tracking a little sloppily and maybe you're not tracking some stuff, that could be something to consider. Let's see. Katie's from Tallahassee. Good evening to you. Jeff is here. Good evening. Kathy from Cleveland, Ohio. Good evening. Miami. Let's see. So Ellen says you got below 160, which was your lifetime over 9 years ago. You've been trying since December. So very nice. Megan, are you kidding me? So guys, Megan hit lifetime today. Megan was on episode 99. Is that correct, Megan? Right? So congratulations hitting lifetime. There's no feeling like it, is there? When you step on the scale and you don't want to lose any weight, that's something many of us have never experienced. So when we get there, it's truly amazing. So I'm going to write that down, Megan. You're the first for tonight. Let's go ahead and get these guys on. So, there you go. As I get it over here for the YouTube folks, you can see it. Very nice. Very nice. So how cool is that, right? Megan, does it feel as good as we thought as I told you it did? I think it does. Crystal's husband's half a pound from goal. That's incredible. Lori from Long Island. Good to see you. Katie walked 8 miles today. Very nice. Treva, good evening. Treva saying hi to Ellen. Let's see. Scrolling through. Robin at a Dayton, Ohio. Good evening to you. So May is saying, so if you're following along, one of the things that I do is I weigh myself every single day. My Nokia Health Body Cardio Scale, it's upstairs. I hop on the scale every single morning. The scale automatically tweets the information. Well, the scale doesn't. I use a third-party app to tweet that information automatically, and that information also goes to Facebook, and it goes to the website fatdag.com. So you can see my weight every time I hop on the scale. You can see it. I'm very comfortable floating up and down in about a 10-pound range. That's just how I'm working the plan. To me, that provides the necessary balance that I need, but it provides the freedom and it provides the consistency. So what I do, the way I work the plan at Lifetime, is a little different than the way I work the plan losing weight. I'll share it with you as long as you promise to not do it until you're ready to get there. Because when I was losing weight, this isn't the strategy I employed. When I was losing weight, it was tracking every single day. It was getting blue dots. It was measuring my food. It was weighing my food. It was 100% focus on the plan. When I hit goal in Lifetime, that continued. And then about 6 or 7 months after I hit my goal weight in Lifetime, I then relied on the scale. And so I weigh myself every single day. If I like the number on the scale, then I enjoy the day a little bit. I enjoy the day in the healthy framework of which I've developed, meaning I don't go crazy. I don't go splurging. I eat the same kinds of foods in the same quantities and the same portions, but I'm not a consistent, deliberate tracker. If I don't like the number on the scale, then sure, I'd log into the tracker and I track diligently. So that gives me about a 10-pound range. That gives me some fluctuations where, today we were out and about and I had a slice of pizza from lunch. I have no idea how many points this pizza was, but I had just one slice. We went into the pizzeria. I could have very easily had 5 or 6 slices of pizza. I was hungry. Actually, I was starving when we went in there because it was 11 o'clock this morning and I didn't have a chance to get breakfast. So we walked into the pizzeria, and I ordered 1 slice of pizza. I don't have no idea how many points it is, but it was 1 slice of pizza. And then tonight we went to dinner. We went to a steakhouse, had a steak and fries. So that's kind of really all I've had today. But I don't know how many points any of that is because it's a complete guess. But this morning the scale was 187, and I'm okay with that. So whatever the scale is tomorrow, it is, and I'm not worried about that. If tomorrow it says 195, then I know for the next 2 or 3 days I have to be really cautious and just keep that balance. So hopefully that answers your question. Is what I'm doing differently is I'm just enjoying a complete balance between food, fitness, and just having fun in life. So, and the other barometer I use with that is I'm still wearing, this is a medium t-shirt, and I'm still wearing 31-inch jeans. So as long as this medium t-shirt fits, as long as these 31-inch jeans fit, and the scale is roughly in a 10-pound window, I'm okay with that. So, thanks for the question, May. Yeah, I guess the fight's on in a little bit too, right? I'm competing with Mayweather and the other guy. I don't know who that is. Trevor, thank you for referring the podcast. Very nice. Make sure, obviously, you guys do a great job of this, but refer the app out. The app, the reason I developed the app is because sometimes it's very hard to explain to people what a podcast is. So you simply say, go to the App Store, download Wise Advice. That's the easiest way to share it, which is why we developed the app. So very nice. And it's completely free, 100%. Sandra, good job. Way to start writing in your journal. That's very nice. I find that's kind of fun. It's just neat to kind of look back too. So Cheryl, Cheryl says she's still dealing with Harvey. And you stress ate today worrying about tornadoes. Yeah, I totally get that. So Cheryl, you're in the part of the journey that we call do your best. Right now, your circumstances in your life are so different than anything you've ever experienced. You need to be mindful to what you're doing, but you're not supposed to stress about food at this point. You're worried about a lot of other things. Take control of that stuff first, and then when you get to a new normal, you settle back in. So Yeah, Megan, 99, very nice. Yep. All right, scrolling through. Folks on YouTube, everything's good. Audio's good. You guys, YouTube gets the backwards flag because YouTube doesn't allow me to switch the videos the best I can tell. I thought I would find a way to do it, but YouTube does not allow me to switch video. So YouTube has the backwards flag. But I think I can see your comments on YouTube. I can't tell because right now there's no comments on there. But if you're watching on YouTube, it'd be interesting to see if you can see and hear everything good there. I put a poll on Twitter the other day asking if you would rather watch live video on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram. And Facebook was the #1 response, and then the #2 response was YouTube. So we're out here trying YouTube to see if that's going to work. So Steve, these are just reading glasses. So right now the iPad's this far away, right? And my notebook's here. So if I have to write, I need these to write, but I don't want to do the whole show looking like this, you know? Diane, great example. So Diane says that you just realize that your mindset has changed. Instead of I hope or if, it's I can and I will. That's powerful. If you get to the point where you say I know I can do this, it's totally different than saying I hope I can do it. Hope is not a plan, right? And you can rely on hope if you have no control over the scenario. If you have any control at all, rely on you. Why would you rely on something you have no control over? So don't hope and wish, do. Very cool. So Lori said, you've been having a hard time losing weight because you have diverticulitis. 2 doctors told me all the information I have added up to 10 to 15 pounds. You can still eat healthy, right? You can still make great choices. You can still choose proper portions. That's the one thing that I'm going to stress about this journey often is that, people, when we have medical issues or we have things going on in our life where we can't have, it makes it more difficult to lose weight. I did an episode on this the other day is I don't want you to lose weight. I want you to get healthy. And so if you eat healthy and you work out a little bit and you're doing some moderate exercise, your body will take care of you at that point. If you don't lose another pound, well, at least you're eating healthy. Eating unhealthy food isn't going to work. So we might as well start eating healthy and seeing what happens as a result. So, Tammy, good evening to you. Glad to see you here. So apparently Megan tells Brian when we're on live, right? Very nice. Very nice. So let's see. Jeannie's here. Ruth Ann is here. Ruth Ann, I got your email today. I read it. Very nice. I'll work it into the show for sure. Iris, good evening from Long Island. Let's see. Vero Beach, Terry's checking in. Yep, I'm with you. I think I'm going to probably do a short show tonight, Brian, and then down the street, the neighbors are watching the fight on, I guess the fight's on now, right? So I guess the neighbors are watching the fight, and I'm not, so that's fine. John is here, woohoo! So Ellen, yes, the Weight Watcher plan does chart. So the couple things that you want to talk about that. The Weight Watcher plan keeps you in a 2-pound range. So I fluctuate around that range. As a Weight Watcher employee, I have a different set of rules, I guess. I have to weigh in monthly, and I have to maintain my 10% weight loss. That's the requirement to be an employee. So if I had to establish, well, this is my goal weight, I would go see my doctor, and I would say, hey, doctor, write me a note for 195, and I'm sure he would agree that 195 would work. I'd have that conversation with him down the road. So yeah, I get your question, and so I'm working the plan. So this is the hard part, is if I was on maintaining my lifetime weight, I would go see a doctor, and because Ellen, have you seen the photo I put on Connect? It's on Instagram. It's probably the easiest way to find it. There's a photo of me at 172 pounds, and there's a photo of me at 185 pounds. And if you look at the two, I look way better in the 185-pound photo because I've gained about 11 pounds of muscle. So that is what I'm operating off of. I'm doing a lot more strength training now. My muscles are bigger. So I know that is what the scale is. So I'm actually smaller than I was when I hit goal. So I'm not worried about the weight, the actual number of the weight. So we would get into a discussion if I needed to with a doc to get the doc to certify it. So yeah, Steven had pizza last night from Tony and Rebecca. Woo! Let's see. Yeah, Ian, I agree. Anyone who's in the path of Harvey, I hope it's all good. Let's see. Scrolling through. Yeah, Cindy, exactly. That's the thing about this, there's some things you can eat that are terrible points-wise. A pack of trail mix is one of them. So yeah, I had the pizza. It was delicious. But what's interesting, so when I had this slice of pizza, but the thing you got to know about this is, we walked into a pizzeria. It's serving by the slice, and I could have had 2 slices easily, maybe even a third. In years past, I would have started with 2, and maybe had a breadstick or something like that. Today I walked in and it was just 1. So that's the mind shift. I'm like, yeah, I need to have lunch. 1 slice of pizza will be plenty, and it was. I didn't leave there stuffed. I left there completely content. Yeah, Danielle had a power bar. So power bar wise, I use either a Quest bar or the RX bar. The Quest bar I think is 4 points, and the RX bar is about 7. So those are the 2 that I use most often. 10 points for a power bar is a lot, I believe. Michelle's down 2.1 for a total of 133.4. Great job, Michelle. Very good job. Very cool. Sheila, why is that? So Sheila says, I love that you told her to do the best you can in the situation. That's the mantra I use, right? It's absolutely foolish to sit there and tell someone in the middle of a hurricane to, how many points is that, right? We're talking about survival right now in the middle of a hurricane, So you just got to get through this week. And so if you lived in the middle of a hurricane and that was every day for you, then yeah, you need to track your points. But this hurricane is random, and it's right now. It's in the middle of your life. Your priority is taking care of you and your family and surviving on whatever food you have. It doesn't mean, there's a hurricane, go grab a bag of M&Ms. It doesn't mean that. So you can still be mindful in the process, but I don't want you in the middle of a hurricane, your house is blowing all over the place, and you're pulling out the scale and you're cutting off 6 ounces of steak to make sure you get maybe now's not the time to do that. Now, if everything's calm, sure, get the scale out, weigh the steak, and move on. But right now, if you go to the grocery store and all of a sudden all they have left is 85% lean hamburger, well, get it and enjoy it and track it and move on, or not track it, but move on. When new normal sets back in, then you go, okay, it's time to regroup. So, yeah, doing your best is absolutely the best thing I can recommend. Marie did 2 legs of the PDX Coaster Relay in the last 24 hours. Wow, very nice. Sheila, I'm sure it's been a rough week, for sure. Let's see. That's very cool. Terry had your kids and your grandkids over for game night. How fun is that? So Crystal took a pair of jeans from the dryer. They seemed so tiny. You didn't see yourself as that small, and no, they didn't shrink. Yeah. When I started getting to the point where I could put clothes in the dryer and then putting them right on, that's when, these, again, the jeans I'm wearing right now, fashion show, right? So these jeans are 31-inch jeans, and I put them right in the dryer, and they come out, tight, but good. They feel good. They feel great in the waist. That's what the barometer I'm using for my staying at goal. I'm wearing a medium t-shirt and jeans. Let's see. So Steve is talking about a meetup, I guess. So Jeff has a North Dakota meetup soon. So if you're in North Dakota area, reach out to Jeff and get there. Debbie's saying you're working. Oops, let me see here. So Debbie had a very stressful day, neonatal intensive care unit, working with your babies that's less than 27 weeks. You ate a donut that was not very flavorful, still 7 points left. Fish tacos and popcorn, staying in points. So yeah, those days get to you. Now what I want you to do, Debbie, is that I completely understand what a stressful day that has to be. The next time that scenario comes up, I want you to have something that you can rely on other than the donut. I'm sure the donut was 10, 12 points, right? So let's say it was 10, I don't even know, but if the donut was 10, if you didn't have that donut and you had an apple instead, you would now have 17 points for dinner. Think of the difference that is, right? And so that's what I did. You know, when you're out of points, stop eating points. But really what you need to do is when you get to the evening and you have 7 points left, you need to look at your day and say, what could I have done differently to give myself enough points for dinner? And in that case, Debbie, and again, I don't know, if you tracked it, I'm curious what the point value of that donut was. It's close to 10, I'm sure. So if you had a 10-point donut and you had an apple instead, and even a banana. Let's say you had an apple and a banana, which is fine. You would have 17 points for dinner. That's how you work the plan. And then you move on. So, so she said, Jamie said you did a 2-hour water workout this evening and you shared your Weight Watcher journey with the only other person at the pool. She said she'd not been there to talk, so she would have left after 20 minutes. She's considering joining Weight Watchers. So that's it. Be the prize. Show people how fun this is. I understand that there are times when we struggle. I understand that. More than you know, I understand that. I also understand that you have to understand the audience you're talking to. If people constantly see how much you struggle, and you constantly think you're struggling and you forget to take a moment to think of actually all the good stuff you're doing, which is why I write down all the good stuff for you, and no one wants to join this journey if it's miserable, right? So why would we entice someone? Hey, it's kind of like saying, man, this food tastes terrible. Try it. No one does that. No, they're like, no, I'm good. No, thanks. But instead, what you do is you say, oh, this is delicious. Try it. And they do. So you got to tell people how wonderful this is. If you're struggling, we need to talk about it. Don't get me wrong there. I'm not telling you to suppress any of that. But what I'm telling you is when you talk to the majority of the people you talk to, I want you to tell them all of the good things that are happening in your life because of the plan. There's so many good things going on. And so if you focus on the good things and you share the good things more than you share the struggle, then just like Jamie, more people will come on board and say, yeah, I want to do this. So Trevor's saying several victories in the last few weeks, going from a size 20 women's down to a size 10, still jogging and walking for 39 minutes, 6 or 7 days a week. And you come off your blood pressure and medicine. So let's get that one in the book, right? Doesn't that sound fun? Let's see. Trevor went from a size 20 women's to a size 10. No more blood pressure medicine. There we go. Got it. Right? This is what I want you to do in your own journey, right? I'm documenting it because I'm confident that as I tell people to write down your non-scale victories, I'm confident there are people who don't. And that's fine. So I'll write it down for you, and I'm not saying you're not, but there are people who aren't. But what I'm doing is I'm writing it down because I want to document it. I think it's amazing stuff. I want you to share your own, so that way your book is all about you. My book is going to be about you as well. Yeah, Stephen, Stephen, it's the employee rules, right? To be an employee of Weight Watchers, you have to be, you have to hit your 10%. You had to maintain a 10% weight loss, and you have to continue working the plan. So I'm doing all of that, Yeah, I don't know, it's not my rule. I'm following their rules, so. Let's see, scrolling through. So Sheila said your mom had 8 teeth pulled and then you had to go to Michigan to be with your aunt whose husband has entered hospice. So Sheila, sorry to hear that for sure. It's tough. You know, that's the type of stuff that, you know, that's when we say do your best. It really, your best in that circumstance is different than the day that you're strong. So just simply do your best and come back on a fire. And when things settle down and you get back into a new normal, that's when you go, okay, you know, I'm back. And when you start recognizing things you start getting into routine, that's when you start getting back into a healthy eating routine. So Jennifer received the golden key today, another one. So Jennifer's at Lifetime, very nice. Let's get that documented too. We're going to write a lot tonight. Tonight's going to be writing night. Jennifer Tell received her golden key, Lifetime. Got it, Jennifer. Very nice. Thanks for sharing. Let's see. Scrolling through. YouTube folks, I'm just curious. I haven't seen any comments over on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, just type a hi. I'm curious how those comments show up. I'm just interested to see if that interface is good or not. Yeah, content is way more satisfying than misery. I agree. And you can go below your goal. So Cindy's asking, are pureed vegetables more points than raw or cooked vegetables in the same way that fruit is more points in a smoothie? The concept is, so this is a great conversation, Cindy. Fruits and vegetables have calories. They don't have points. So the reason we give you them as 0 points is because I want you to choose them over the unhealthy alternative. So you have to know that they're always going to have calories. They're always going to have calories. So the reason we say we're willing to ignore the calorie side on a raw fruit and vegetable is because of the time it takes to eat it. And we're hoping that time as you're eating an apple takes you out of whatever mindset that would have had you eating something else. So therefore, we're willing to trade the calories in our head. We're willing to trade the calories for the mind shift that it takes as you're eating the apple. If you take an apple and you put it into a smoothie and you drink it, you can drink an apple in about 10 seconds. And then so there's no real mind shift and there's no real eating sensation. So therefore, you could drink an apple and then go right into eating bad food. So therefore, it's only as you're eating it raw is it 0 points. Everything other than that, we want you to count it as calories or points because it is points. Does that make sense? So Crystal said, if we get hit, you have a whole lot of defrosting Halo Top to eat. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's see. Yeah, Crystal, our mirrors aren't very helpful, right? The mirror lies to us all the time, so you got to be careful with your mirrors in your house. Good night, Linda. Good to see you. All right, scrolling through. Ann, you're welcome. That was my intent. So, and the whole reason I do the podcast really is for my own accountability. I need that level of accountability of checking in. Awesome. So, okay, so Debbie had half a donut, so it was 4 points, and you had lunch first, so very good. So now you would have 11 points if you had an apple instead of half a donut. That's the concept is the same. So there you go. But so I look back at my day and I go, when I get to the point where I'm at dinner and out of points, I look back and say, what could I have substituted out with an apple or a banana? And hey, I could have had a banana instead of 4 point donut, half a donut. And so that's just a conversation that you can have with yourself at some point. Jeff is now wearing a small dress shirt. How cool is that, right? Very nice, Jeff. Yeah. So Ellen says, your dear friend, as you track your journal, are you going to do this forever? And you, yeah, I hope so. Yeah, me too. Right? Danielle, show you the pen. Which one, Danielle? I have 3 pens. I bought a new pen today. This is the pen I bought today. Is that the one? That's probably not the one you're talking about, right? Or is it? Can you guys see that? So I bought this one today. This is one of my other. I like little pens. This is for those of you who know, this is the Mont Blanc. It's a little. It's the real small pen, and then this is my normal pen. So another Mont Blanc. So is that what you're asking, Danielle? Which one? This one I got at Tiffany. I got this at Tiffany and Company today. So I just thought it was kind of neat. Can you guys see it? It's kind of cool looking. So, yep. So yeah, I like pens. Let's see. So Lee is here. Good evening. Yeah, good job, Ann. Ann has a non-scale victory journal. Very nice. Scrolling down. Angie, nope. So Angie, tonight we're just kind of hanging out. So nothing more than just kind of hanging out and just seeing what's going on. Leah's 409 week weigh-in tomorrow, which is incredible. Very nice. And then 2,860 days of tracking. That's got to be some sort of record, Lee, right? Congratulations. Angie made 10% today. Whoop, whoop. Good job. Feels good, right? And so here's the deal, right? If you've made 10%, nothing changes. Nothing changes in your journey when you hit 10%. If you've hit 10%, you've proven that you know how the program works. And you've proven that you can rebound after a bad day or a bad week, and you can persevere and you can get to a goal. So if you've hit 10%, you can hit goal. That's it. So Ellen got a key today too. Very nice. Very nice. John's out. Good night, John. Let's see. Scrolling through. So Cindy said, you get the whole idea of the mindset, but if you make a soup with pureed vegetables, are there additional points? Fruit has more sugar. Just wondering about the vegetables. So, yeah. So Cindy, I guess I don't know. I'm going to have to take a minute to research that. But I would say yes. If you're adding vegetables into a soup, I would say yes initially. Maybe I'd have to Cindy, sorry, I guess I'd have to. It's not an area I know. So here's the deal, Cindy. Try it, right? Try it without counting them, and see how your week goes. If you like the number on the scale, then you're fine. If you don't like the number on the scale, then start tracking them. So that's how I kind of gauge everything. Like, you know, I'll kind of equate it to a burger that I eat once or twice a week. It's 14 points, but I don't know if it's truly 14 points. I don't know how they cook the bun. I don't know how they butter the bun. I have no idea, you know, how much percentage their beef is. So therefore, I called it 14 from early on. The weeks I eat that, I still lose weight if I call it 14 points. So I call it 14 points. Maybe it's really 50 points. I don't know. But so same thing for you is track it as 0 for now. If you like the results you're getting, then continue calling it 0 and move on. If you track it as 0 and you don't like the results you're getting, well, maybe then you start tracking it as whatever number you think it would be. And then that'll kind of judge it. So yes, the YouTube comments show up, but this is interesting. Let's see, I don't know how to... They pop up like real quick and then disappear. So if I'm not reading it as it comes on, so on Facebook, the comments stay until I scroll through. On YouTube, they pop up and then they go right away. So that's interesting. So Lee is on weigh in 410 tomorrow. Yeah, Crystal. Yeah, I get that. Crystal's she lives in Florida, so she gets a little bit of little hurricane weather there for sure. Karen, you asked me if I count bites, licks, and tastes. Absolutely, I count. I track ketchup. I track Tic Tacs. You know, so when I was losing weight, I tracked every single thing I ate. So, yeah, Danielle, I love my Mont Blancs as well. They're a fun little pen. I think I told you this the other night. I got this one. I bought this in the airport flying home from leader training. And so if you know anything about the Mont Blanc pen, so this is it's like a little carbon fiber. It's not their normal black resin. So there's a little bit of a texture to it. And it's kind of it's got a matte finish instead of the shiny finish. So, and of course the signature star on the top. So very nice. Good night, Debbie, for sure. Yeah, so Sandra, you were over on YouTube and you didn't see any way to comment, only a like. Yeah, I don't know. Ellen, yeah, so Ellen's asking if the pens are expensive. Sorry, they are. They're a pen. You know, it's expensive for a pen, right? Yeah, I think they're expensive, but I like them, so it's good. And you know, I kind of buy them at significant times. I don't buy them just to buy them. Like this one I bought when I graduated leader training, and that's significant to me. This is a memento for me celebrating my successful completion of leader training, which means I completed my weight loss journey. So this was my gift for doing that. So I forget what I paid for it, honestly. $300 or $400 or something like that. I forget the exact number. It may have been closer to $5. I don't remember. But it's more of it's a celebration for me than it is a writing instrument, if that makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, so you're answering that. Yeah, so Cindy, back to the pureed vegetables, and then we'll get off that. But the thing about all of this is there's no really right answer. So you just kind of adjust and figure out what your body thinks. Kirby's here, woohoo! Yeah, so Cindy, you got one so that's what I use mine for. I use it for journaling as well. I really like my little tiny one, right? So this is the full size one. And then look at this one. So see the difference? So it's a much smaller, shorter pen. But now you can see the difference, right? So this one's shiny black resin, and then the other one is subdued. So who knew we were going to talk about pens all night, right? Sorry, we're talking about pens. Yeah. Pen envy. Yeah, so Ellen, so again, it is a lot for a pen. I agree. But again, it's not this is matte and this is shiny. So you can see it now, right? This is matte, shiny. So, but cool. All right, so that's enough about pens. So all right, so I just want to tonight was just more or less just checking in. Don't have a show prepared for you. Just wanted to see what you got going on, see what questions you had. So if there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and wrap up. But I really just wanted to check in to just keep you focused. All right, the quick check-in tonight says, hey, I'm focused, I'm doing this, and I'm going to get to goal. So if you want to get to goal and you want to join Team Lifetime, Steve's at Lifetime, Jeff's at Lifetime, Jennifer is at Lifetime, and then who else we said? Megan hit Lifetime. How cool is all that? Yep. So I mean, this is an amazing community of all of us. So Jennifer's now asking, how do you figure out where to set your goal? You went to the high end, and you're not now. You're still losing. Not sure where you want to stop. Jennifer, I went to the point where I said I no longer want to lose any more weight. When I agreed that I looked good and I was too skinny, that's when I set my goal weight. So You know, it's not a number for me, it's a feeling, you know. I don't believe I'll ever want to wear less than a 31-inch jeans. I don't believe I want to get into a small t-shirt. So I'm content with this size. You know, when I stand up sideways, my stomach doesn't hang over my belt. I'm okay with that, you know. I'm never going to be, you know, as fit as these guys boxing on TV tonight, right, who are just completely solid with 0% body fat. That's never going to happen. So I'm just content where I'm at, and I'm calling that goal. So, yeah, so Ellen, so we all, right, everybody has their vices, right, and what you want to spend money on. That's fun. Yeah, this is a big Lifetime day. Very, very good. Yeah. Isn't that Anne, right? I mean, think of all the people who hit Lifetime today, just in this group, which is amazing. So, yeah. So, Crystal, thank you for that, and Trevor, same thing. You're very welcome. So Lee still wears an extra large T-shirt because you have broad shoulders, but you have lots of space available in the abdomen area. Yep. You know, so it's not a size thing, right? So you know, I just this is a medium. I like mediums, and so yeah, my same thing. It's, you know, medium around here. My shirts are the most tight right through here. That's where they're all tight for me. It used to be the shirts were tight down here, and so now I do it. So. Jennifer, if you're not plugged into the podcast, here's what I would recommend, because you're asking a lot of great questions and a lot of questions that I answer a lot throughout the podcast. So I would recommend do what Lee did, maybe not to the same extreme, because Lee did it. He did it really weird. Lee listened to the show today from 7 a.m. till about 8 p.m. or something like that. Lee went 11 hours straight listening to the show. Don't do that, but start at episode 0. And work your way up, and many of the questions you're asking have been answered in there. And so, but I'll give you it. How much you decide to work out? I'm big on setting attendance goals. I'm big on, you know, there is no point going to the gym and working out so intently and so hard that you need a month off to recover. That doesn't do it. What I want you to do when you go to the gym or when you work out or whatever exercise you do, what I want you to do is what I did. Is I went and did so little that I could come back the next day and do that exact same thing. And it was just walking. And so I walked every day for an hour at the slowest pace you can imagine on a treadmill. I did that just about every single day in January, every single day in February, every day in March, and I continued in April, May sometime. And then at that point I was down 50, 60 pounds, and walking was no longer, you know, at all stressful. So I just slowly started running. And so now I work out when I feel like it, you know, and I feel like I work out, you know, 2 or 3 days a week because I've developed the habit of being a fit person who likes to work out. And so now I push myself a little harder, but not to the point where I need a week off. It's where the point where I just need a day to recover. But so I want you to, when you start out, I want you to just get in the habit. It takes roughly 21 days to build a habit, right? So I want you to be able to do something 21 days in a row and then continue at the day 22, 23, 24, 25. You can't do a Navy SEAL cardio kickboxing program for 21 days in a row. You can do it once a year, twice a year, right? Max. But you can walk every day. And so that's how I set my goal. Very nice. Ellen, thank you for that. Let's see. Yeah, so Lee listened to the show from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. tonight, which is a little crazy. Joanne, you got the app. Thank you. Yeah, I think the app, you guys agree with the app? The app is the best way to listen to the show, I think. It's just the easiest way to find it. So, Angie, thank you for ordering the Noticer. I mean, that's Andy's book. I have nothing to do with it, obviously, other than the fact that it's the book that changed my life. It's my #1 favorite book. I put it on FatDag.com. I put it on my book list. You can order it from there or order it wherever. But the caution you, Angie, when you open it and start reading, make sure you have about 2 hours because you're going to want to read it cover to cover like most people have that I talk about. So just be mindful that when you open the book, you're probably going to be dug in for an hour or two. Yeah, so Paul, I just, you know, it all depends on where you are in your journey, right? So Paul's saying your gym time should be only 30 minutes of intense workout. If and so that's where I'm at, right? At this stage of my journey, yeah, I agree with you. When I was at 264 pounds, I wasn't doing 30 minutes of intense anything. I did an hour, but I did an hour of slow walking at like 2 miles an hour. And as Daniela says, is running is just like walking, it's just faster. So, fun, fun, fun. Yeah, no, Ellen, you're right. So, and even the jeans I wear in this brand, I'm a 31, but I went and put on a pair of dress pants in the store the other day, and I needed like a 33. So it's every manufacturer makes their own numbers. So the numbers really are kind of irrelevant. Oh, Cindy, this is a great comment, what Cindy says. So Cindy says she's lost 40 pounds in 2 years to get back to Lifetime. She did that 3 weeks ago, but no one noticed until you went out and bought new clothes to your new Lifetime size. Now suddenly they're asking how much weight you lost and what have you done to lose it and what do you eat? And you lost an average of a half a pound a week slowly, which is incredible. And so that I'm a huge fan and huge advocate of when something becomes just a little bit too big, you got to get rid of it. If it's something you've owned forever and it's too big, out it goes. Wear clothing that fits. You can always wear something that's a half a size or 2 sizes too big. Even as this is a medium t-shirt, I could go put on, I don't have any, but I could put on an extra large t-shirt and you wouldn't think it would look ridiculous. You wouldn't really even notice too much. But the medium fits, so why would I wear a large, right? So, good job, Cindy. Proud of you for that. Very cool. Anne's got the... Anne has the noticer as well. Very nice. Yeah, so no, Ellen, hey, I'm totally okay with you binge listening. I really am. It surprises me. I was telling my wife earlier, we were upstairs chatting, and I was telling them about Lee. I said, this guy listened to the show from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. straight until the app crashed on him. But I'm like, I just laughed at it, and she's laughing. I'm like, you know, and I like that there's good information there, but it just blows my mind that someone listens to me talk for 11 hours. You know, and she said, no offense, honey, but I don't get it. You know, and I'm like, I don't either, baby. But fun stuff. So Beth got rid of a bunch of clothes tonight. Congratulations on that. So, all right, let's wrap this up. Really, the only reason I popped in tonight was I wanted to give you an hour of my time to remind you to stay focused. That's it. The only way you can get to goal and maintain it is if you know what you're trying to do and you make every single decision that to benefit that that action. I want you to get to goal. I want you to join me at Team Lifetime. I'm telling you, I can't describe it. I can't tell you how amazing it feels, but it's so incredible, and I want you to be here as well. For those of you who reach Lifetime, for those of you who are at goal, you know what this is. You're never giving it up either. So I just wanted to check in to remind you that you can do this. I know you can do it. And the reason I know you can do it is because I did it, and I'm just a regular dude working a million hours, doing a bunch of different things, and I found a way to get it done because it was the most important thing in my life. It was to take care of my life. So with that, I'll leave you. What I want you to do is remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You've got to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it, right? I wish you good focus. Have a good night.